And now I'd like to bring on Michele Landers.
Okay, how's that?
It's perfect. And Michele
Yeah.
has been with us here on Enlightened World several times, and we are so excited to hear the message you have for us today, Easter.
Oh, thank you. And happy Passover, happy Easter. Um, so earlier in the year, I had talked about numerologically that we were under a 22 vibration, and that's a master number. But what I also discovered accidentally was that the word coronavirus has a vibration of another master number, which is the number 11. So here we are being impacted by two very high vibrations. And then I think of the adage, to whom much is given, much is demanded. And so what does that all mean? Well, I guess if we say we truly and sincerely want the world to live in more peace and more harmony, then what does that demand? That demands of us individually to let go of our individual judgments and, in some cases, even our own condemnation of what we think is wrong in this world. And that might seem really, really, really obvious to us, but think in terms of how we might judge others as being more spiritual because they meditate for 2 hours a day, or have a vegan lifestyle, or even judging others as being less enlightened or less spiritual because they don't behave in a way that we perceive as spiritual. So I'd like to just remind myself and everyone that many souls come back in forms that we might even find reprehensible in order for us to challenge us to grow spiritually. And I believe that each one of us individually has to be so diligent about practicing non-judgment and compassion without exception. And if we want to, in turn, observe and create less judgment and cruelty and heartlessness in the world, then that's what we have to do. We have to be for love, for harmony, for compassion, and not against war and anger and hatreds. And I think this is a really, really deep conversation that maybe we can even have it another time, but I do believe it is such a necessary one. So here we are in a week of celebration of two very, very sacred holidays, Passover and Easter. And the spiritual message of both describes going from darkness or death to freedom and life. And I think that right now we're really being forced physically to step back and have more time for reflection and to think about these really, really important spiritual truths. We're being called to rise higher and elevate our thinking more than we ever have. And I think the question is, will we answer the call? So that's what kind of came to me this morning. And I thought I would share that. I think we're all being called to a higher version of ourselves. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Michele. And I am in total agreement with that. Every word you were saying is like, yes, yes, yes. So thank you so much for being here with us today and for sharing your insight.
Thank you.
Beautiful.